Good evening, Lizzie boys, and welcome back to my channel. This week has been a very good week for the Skullector line. We've had 3 leaks of things that we can expect in the future between the second Beetlejuice set. We've gotten confirmation of Megan and Us, which is a Jordan Peele movie for those of you who don't know. It seems like a lot of people don't know what Us is, so I'll explain it each time. But now we have officially gotten to see the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. This is the upcoming next in line release for Skullector, and allegedly they are going to release on October 4th. Instead of just some sculpt leaks though, we have a photo of the actual dolls. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So here they are, the Sanderson sisters, all 3 of them. We've got... I know the blonde one's name is Sarah. I'm sorry, I've only seen this movie once, and it didn't leave that much of an impression on me. I think the one with purple hair's name is Mary. Okay, so I know Mary and Sarah. Winifred. Winnipeg? Well, I'm gonna Google it. I was correct, her name is Winifred. So, this is the long-awaited Hocus Pocus 3-pack, and our first ever Skullector 3-pack. So far, the most we've gotten in a set together is 2 packs, which were priced at $90, and this one, being our first 3-pack, is now setting the standard for that, being $125. It's a $35 increase, and I guess it adds up somewhat, because the dolls end up being about $40 each if you do the math, and that's how much it is for a 2-pack. A 2-pack prices the dolls at $45 each, and this set seems to price them around 40 and change-ish, you know? About like 41 and change-ish each. But of course, that's not factoring in things like shipping and tax, which will bring the price closer to $140, all things considered. So, yeah, for those of you who want that, I want this set, you'll need to set around $140 US aside. I know it'll be more in other countries, like I know Canadians always have to pay a much higher price, for example. I guess it's just due to like currency exchange and stuff. When I was in England, I was paying quite a lot more in dollars than I was in pounds, so that just seems to be how currency works. Anyway, the dolls themselves. I haven't said a word about the dolls themselves. I am not the biggest Hocus Pocus fan. Again, I've seen the movie. It was alright. Not one of my favorites. It wasn't a bad movie by any means, but it just didn't really stick with me. I did think Sarah Jessica Parker was, like, gorgeous, though, and she still is. She's just very pretty. Wouldn't say she was my gay awakening. I'm pretty sure that was the drummer in the I Was Made for Lovin' You dance on Just Dance. So yeah, from what we know, Mary does in fact have a new body sculpt. It looked pretty similar to, I want to say it was similar to Draculaura's body sculpt in G3, or maybe more similar to Abby's. No, Abby's really tall. Okay, considering how tall Mary seems to be here, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say most likely it's most similar to Caddy's body sculpt, but I don't think it's the exact same. I just know that it is, in fact, closer to a G3 body than a G1 body, but the shoes are like G1 shoes, so it's like a G3 body but with G1 feet, you know? Because the G3 dolls have like less high-heeled feet, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. So, yeah. I've covered the body on my channel before. I don't have the photo on me, but I could pull it up. Okay, so it's essentially just a slightly, like, larger G1 body, because looking at this, there actually isn't any resemblance to the G3 bodies. I thought that there was. I thought there was more of a resemblance to them, but, no, I was wrong. I misremembered. But that's why I went and pulled up the actual photo for you guys. Aren't I the best? You don't have to answer that. But yeah, that should be what Mary's body looks like, especially because the hands seem to be the same. Okay, not really, actually. Yeah, no, the hands look different. She kind of has, like, the Ever After High hands. Both Mary and Winifred have the Ever After High hand sculpt, it looks like. So, I'm not sure. Either they scrapped whatever hand sculpt they were using here. Maybe they even scrapped this body and made a new one. Because, I don't know. Mary doesn't look as small as this body does. I think they may have given her a more accurate one, you know? But again, we won't know until people get these dolls in hand and are able to examine them out of box. So yeah, overall the dolls' faces I would say look pretty good. The only one that I'm not a big fan of face-wise is my favorite, Sarah, which is ironic because I just said she was my favorite. She's not my favorite doll in the set. I would say my favorite of the three is probably Mary, oddly enough. She was my least favorite witch in the movie just because I don't remember anything she did. So it's kind of like a least favorite by default sort of thing. But her doll actually looks really good. I like how stylized she is. I love how they did her hairstyle. Her face is pretty. Her dress looks pretty nice too, though it is notably less detailed than it should be. But that's kind of the case for all of them. But anyway, the thing I don't really like about Sarah is that she kind of reminds me of Tiffany, like the Tiffany Skullector. I don't know, something about their faces look very oddly similar to each other in my eyes. I don't know why. Like, I can't for the life of me tell you, I can't talk. That's what I can't do. Like, obviously they're not the same in the slightest. I think it's just the yellow blonde hair color that they chose for each of them, somewhat. And I guess the skin tone, because they do have very similar skin tones. Why did I say Mary? What's her name? Sarah. Sarah does look paler, so they don't look the same in that regard. I don't know, just something about these two looks similar to me, and I cannot explain what. Winifred looks pretty good. I do like how they adapted her face. Her hair looks nice. You know, I just find myself underwhelmed. One thing that underwhelms me most is the fact that all three of these dolls have object heels, which has become the bane of this community's existence recently. I've been hating on object heels for a while now, and everybody else has joined in, so we're all in the same boat for the most part with those. If it's done well, and it looks nice. But here, I don't know. From what I can see, it just is an object stuck in the place of where a heel should be. Mary's are the most, why do I keep calling her Mary? Sarah. Sarah's are the most visible, but I still can't make out what it is. I don't know. I don't like that when object heels are done like this, where like instead of a heel, they just put an object there and are like, oh yeah, that's how we do it. I prefer it to be integrated in like a meaningful way, you know? Like I want it to actually mesh well with the design of the shoe and not just be slapped on there like, oh, we can't give the doll accessories. We don't have the budget for that. So we're just gonna put it on their shoes instead, you know? Again, I'm not trying to complain too much. I know it annoys people when I do, but I just think this kind of object heel is lazy, and there is a good way to do it. They've done it before, like with the Beetlejuice and Lydia Skullectors. Both of those dolls have object heels, and you never hear anyone complaining about it because it looks good. Same with Dracula. Dracula had some gorgeous shoes with the opening coffin, with a little Dracula sleeping inside. That is amazing. That is a great, like, idea, you know? Vampire Heart Draculaura had good object heels. What I'm saying is that there is a way to do it, just this is not the way, you know? This is not the right way to go about it. Winifred has some really detailed shoes, but again, I just feel like the object in place of the heel kind of drags it down. Though, if I had to pick a favorite of the three, I would say Winifred's shoes probably look the best. I like the little pointed toes. It's cute. I can't tell what object they used here for Mary's shoes, and this is actually Mary this time. It's not just me mixing up the names again. But yeah, she's got them too. I'd say one of my biggest issues with these dolls, though, aside from the price point, because $125, let's face it, it's a lot of money. For 3 dolls, though, it's not a terrible deal, especially considering the fact that Mattel, on the regular, will sell just one Barbie for that much money. So by Mattel standards, $125 for a 3-pack is not awful. You know, that's the bare minimum of what I can say. The sculpt work on them is very nice. It's well done. I'm never gonna insult Mattel's sculpt work. They've got some very talented sculptors working for them. My main thing is the material that their dresses are made out of. It looks very cheap, and I can actually recognize what kind of fabric this is. Think any budget Disney princess doll you see, like at Walmart or Target, just kind of warming the shelves. They're there, they're cheap, they cost under $10. that's the kind of fabric that these dolls' dresses are made from. Like, the way the hem looks, you can tell it's just made of that kind of, like, cheap, satiny looking feeling. When you flip it over, it's white underneath, you know? Like, the print doesn't go all the way through. And that's not unusual for Monster High. They did that back in G1. But on a collector doll, a Skullector at that, I don't know. I just think it looks kind of cheap. These dolls, though, are cool. It's a very interesting 3-pack. But I feel like I'm kind of biased against it because I never cared for the movie. Like, if I'm acknowledging the good parts, it's really good that they gave Mary a unique body sculpt. I think that Winifred and Mary have very nice faces. I don't know why I don't like Sarah's. I just don't really like her face as much. But yeah, overall this set is cool, but is definitely not for me. I usually go for every Skullector release because I like them. But this time, I'm not as big a fan, so I can't see myself shelling out the money for this. As I mentioned, they will end up being closer to $140 US with shipping and tax included. So, I don't know, it's just kind of a lot of money to spend on something I don't really like, so I'm not going to do it. You guys are free to let me know if you guys like this pack, though. A lot of people do seem to like them. I definitely think I'm in the minority by not liking them as much, so, you know, if you guys like this pack, I'm happy for you, but personally, I'm not crazy for it. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Hopefully I don't get skewered in the comments for not liking these, but yeah, you guys are all entitled to your own opinions. If you like this set, feel free to share some positivity for it. I will be hearting the comments. I always do that. I like going through and giving you guys some hearts. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, I hope to see you in my next one.